Oh, no sound. Thank you. Brittany's calling me. Thank you. Okay, peace, love, grooviness. Chris came up and knocked on my door. So we begin in silence. Namaste. Thank you, Britt. So welcome, Brittany and Michael and Maureen. And let's see, Maureen, Brittany said, in sacred space, initiating self into new first time ways to initiate and connect to my being. Excellent. So I basically just said, welcome to the other side. Welcome to the other side of the eclipse. And the first opportunity is to make sure you don't get stuck in looking for what's changed. Did it change? How did it change? When's it going to change? What do I do? How do I do it? When's it going to stop? Because all of that plus looking for, is the past pain still here? I have a way of observing from a very high state down into myself, almost like rising up into your higher self and looking down with your inner eye, with your other eyes, the other levels of reality that you are connected to and can see or perceive through, down into yourself. And when you do this, you're looking at yourself while you're also in yourself. And this is the dance that we're learning. We need to be in the present moment. We're the deep sea diver with the big, suit on at the bottom of the ocean with the tube going up to the Jules Verne kind of thing, right? That's what I used to just be mystified. And I thought it was beyond magic, these images of these men in these big suits going through the bottom of the ocean and the possibilities. It's unknown and it's scary, but it's adventurous. And this is who we are. We're the point person. We're the one in the suit. We're the one at the bottom of the ocean, or we're the one at the top of the mountain, or we're the one in the cave of our womb. Whatever reality you're perceiving right now. So that tube can no longer sustain us. And we go through these portals and we have these cosmic experiences to continuously help us move through one level of truth, because we have to very quickly now, over the next several years, accelerate our consciousness, live more and more often for longer sustained amounts of time with more focus in the present moment. It sounds like old story, and it is, because it is truth, and there is no objective truth. Your truth is only what is true for you and applies to absolutely no one else, and only applies to your children when you are in charge of caring for their safety. All right. And it doesn't allow any other judgment. So if you're working with me, namaste, in the mastermind or in any of my classes, or you've just been at a retreat recently, we're still sharing in that group because we create a community. And now you have people that you've gone through these powerful experiences with. Well, we've just gone through a powerful experience, not the first one, but it's kind of fun to go through it with so much more of the world paying attention for whatever reason, even if it was to sell doom and gloom. I've been living like this for a long time. And you used to have to keep it quiet. You used to have to do your weird shit to yourself. You used to have to go find the goddess group so you could call the directions, or go study with the shaman and the Native Americans and go to the different ancient cultures and learn them, so you could learn almost they all have the same thing. They honor the life in other beings, other realms, the directions as a being, as a structure. They understood sacred geometry, aligning buildings to events in the cosmos, accessing the power of these kinds of cosmic events like we just went through. And so we are now the ones that are gathering. We're moving faster through our life. We're doing 10,000 lives almost every, well, I'm hearing day, but I was going to say like every year. You are bringing up what we've called karma, which feels like a sentence, and it isn't. And now I'm hearing people say there's no more karma. Well, that's always been true to a degree in the last 10, 11 years. We reached unity consciousness. We reached the top of the pyramid in 2012-ish, ishness, 11, 12, whatever. And a lot has happened since then that you notice looking back. You have wise experience. If you were at something like the harmonic convergence, I wasn't really into this stuff at that time and didn't know where to go publicly with people. So you can look back at different events, even the pandemic, and these are portals that the entire collective of humans, the planet, as in all things inside the planet, all consciousnesses, every dirt, every crystal, everything is a life force just like us. It's just expressing through a different third dimensional body. It's still holding a mission and a purpose. So remembering our mission is our real purpose. And once you remember your mission, you might only remember a tiny little corner. And when you just get that tiny little corner or that little tiny tip of the iceberg or the pyramid, it ignites something within you. Well, right now we're being given a chance to go through much more quickly, with much more intensity and much more available to us as these portals open. Now, we won't have some more eclipses till in the fall, and come and join me in England for magical Avalon things. We're going to learn how to douse. This is going to be so cool. We're going to literally find the ley lines with our own dowsing rods and communicate with the land. And it's going to be so cool. And we're going to be right there again. There's going to be the equinox. I'm going to be at Stonehenge at sunrise with a bunch of druids and pagans and witches and wonderful goddess people and whoever else wants to celebrate and loves the equinox the way I do. And in September, I'm beyond excited because I didn't even know that was possible. And although I'm not able to include it, I was hoping to include something like that, not the equinox, but a private group. With this trip, I'm already planning future trips as I'm finding the magical places that are booked out a long way in advance, that we're going to start to have our connection to Gaia, to these places in the earth even more. I've been bringing people here to the Mayan land, and you can ask anybody who was on the recent retreat. Wow, a lot of fun, a lot of joy, a lot of flavors, and a lot of big work. So the pictures today are to give you access to not just what we did, but to these beautiful caves, because as we're moving through this next phase, don't get attached to thinking, oh, now nothing bad will happen to me again. So hopefully you can see the little crescent looking moon thing inside of my pendant. That's my pendant here. And these obsidian pendants were used by the Maya and the Aztec and probably many other tribes to track the sun, to look at the stars. It's amazing. You can look at the sun any time of the day. And the first time I ever bought one was directly at a pueblo from Maya. And they were like, this is for this, this is for this. That's why they were selling it versus wear this energy the way that we do. So you can see we never had a totality here, but this was what we had. We had the two. So we had the overlapping of the sun and the moon. And when we think about the moon being our emotions, the moon being our dreams, the moon being that aspect of us that's immersed like the undersea diver in the world of feelings and sensations. blocked off the sun, ourself, even though the sun is a gazillion times bigger. So that's one opportunity here. Is this was an enormous acknowledgement of our emotional self. And to rebirth means you can't take the old shit with you. You have to go in and be willing to go into your underworld and your underbelly and then get purified by the waters or the Gaia or the caves or the crystals or the codes and memories or the water spirits, nymphs, mermaids, whatever version you do, or the cenote birds or the sacred ceremony that we do. There's all these layers of medicine and energy around us. They're always here. So this is not an easy time, and it's not going to be easy. It can be interesting, it can be exciting, it can be something you feel deep gratitude for, because nobody's ever experienced this, and a lot of people have been leaving the planet, and they're leaving because they're ready to do something at another level, and they didn't need to go through this before. So my brother-in-law passed a few weeks ago, and many people that I know have many people who've chosen to pass on. And this is another thing, is the veil gets thinner, then we are accelerating our consciousness. So the tools that we have from the ancients are important to learn, and the mystery schools. However, then we have to realize that we are the masters in training, not just for remembering. We are literally recreating. So we're in Mercury retrograde, and we're in the time of reflection, of reviewing, of looking within. And so it's interesting to me that in order to see what was happening in this incredible bodies that are not only giving us energy in the 3D and pouring the rays that have the life force within them for us, when you stop judging it, you're going to understand when you need sun, how much you need, how to communicate with it, how to receive it. You don't know how to do that right now. It was taken from you. All of our forms of receiving support, medicine meaning the energies that benefit you, the energies that support you, the energies that allow you to prosper. And what you're looking for is prosperity. You can't have prosperity without freedom. You can't have freedom without letting go of your fucking shit. And we are done. Someone in my mastermind said today, and we have a few spots. So if you are interested in the mastermind, because we're just ramping up, we're like playing with the energies, doing some processes, sharing as people are joining. If it's the perfect moment for you, it may be the only one I do. It's the next 6 months. If you want to go through the dragon year, if you want to go from this point, because the next thing we're going to hit, and of course I'm going to come here, so make sure you subscribe and know when I go live, is we're going to go into a Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. And the basics of that is that whatever you're coming through this portal with may appear today, tomorrow, in 2 weeks, in 10 years. I don't know. Doubt it's going to be 10 years. So I'm going to retract that. It has to unfold. And the only way for you to fully embrace it is to support yourself by saying, okay, I'm going to be right here watching, because I'm not the same person. I don't think the same way. I don't see things the same way. We're looking through the dark. Our perception when the guy first showed me this was that it's opaque. You can't see through the dark. And look at this shit right here. You can see through the friggin' dark. Okay. And we are, and I am intensely supported by Jaguar Spirit. And this is the guide that goes beyond death, that walks between the worlds, that walks in and out of lives, that walks in the dark, unseen, unless desired to be seen. And to see in the dark means to see through your own fears, through where you're tricking yourself, see where you're giving up or you're giving in to the old way, see where you're saying, well, you can't see through that, that's black. Where are you handing away your power? Where are you saying can't? Someone said today, we were all talking about the intensity of what we're experiencing and how we're surrendering to it and how it's going, and it goes up and down. It goes up and down. It goes up and down. Everything is the sacred serpent. It is the way that energy flows. Okay. We're reweaving, yet not really. And we are opening the templates to a crystalline 24th DNA. However, we have DNA at every level of our bodies. We have all kinds of other subtle DNA. And those all have codes that are ready to be unlocked. So more than weaving it or needing anything in particular, this is where you go within and give yourself permission to let it appear to you. Permission for the lock to open, permission to remember, and then all the different codes within your many layers of your light body. So if you come and work with me this summer, we're going to do an intuition awakening camp. It's virtual, although we might have some aspect here, I hope. And then I am going to go to Avalon and all of the sacred stones, Stonehenge and Avebury, into the sacred wells, doing everything now to carve out that private time for more caves, for more rebirthing, for more waters. And these waters are pure goddess. They're part of Magdalene, Mary and Michael. There's this ancient Christianity, King Arthur, the Grail. This is all here. And then there's the goddess and the original goddess and the Celtic traditions. And there's the sacred Tor, which is Avalon, which, if you don't know what Avalon is, in the Arthur legend, they tap into the sacred feminine powers, and the women are all pretty much demonized, which is bullshit. However, when you see that, just please pull out your hat and erase the demonizing, because the sacred feminine, unless something is, I want to say triggered, and then they showed me agreed upon. So if there is a moment when there's a split between the lovers, right? The sacred masculine and feminine, how the goddesses and the women of the Avalon, which we're going to be in and under and on top of that night, and with drums and singing and circles and dancing, and it's epic. I'm already there. I'm already having an amazing time. You can see through the mists. And so she came in with the other guides because we are walking through the mists. Don't get attached to the result yet. Now, this was interesting. I hope I have all the pictures here. So this was right around, or I think a few minutes before the totality. We did not see the totality here. And with just this naked eye, not with this, we couldn't see, right, that there was the dark moon was crossing. Now, if you know your sacred geometry, or what they call at the Chalice Well in Avalon in Glastonbury, where we're going, I think they have some other name for it, some other goddess or Christian name for it. It's the beginning of creating life, because it's a circle crossed with a circle, which creates the eye in the center, and the eye is called the Vesica Pisces, which was used, part of that symbol was used for Jesus, because the Pisces era was about the victim. And now we're moving into the Aquarius era, and we're having this Pluto alignment, which means death, Lord of Death, going into the underworld, shedding the old. And we can't carry anymore all the falsehood, all the darkness, all the negativity, all the use of people, all the selfishness, all of the businesses for personal gain only, all the lying, all the cheating, all the scams, all the hackers, and on and on and on. And at the global level, you can say, "Ooh, look at those bad people," but then you got to turn that around and look at you, because there's some level that you're hacking yourself, or that you're fooling yourself. And this is what this is about. Don't just point this outwards. Look through the dark within. We're learning to be our own, I want to say, guide. And the hesitancy in my heart is telling me that, thank you, Hathor and Isis are here. These are Egyptian goddesses. So this is the year of the sacred feminine goddesses coming out of the mists. And they first have to arise within us. And they're saying that the goddess goes within. The goddess is the womb, is the place of creation, is the caves that keep you safe, is the caves that nurture life, hold the water that is the amniotic fluid. And as you even imagine that within you or around you, or go into it, or stand in the shower and sink your body, your mind, and all the rest of you, surrender it to this, because this is the moment that everything is going to be revealed to you. That is aligned for your evolution right now. So when I say, and I'm not trying to be negative, however, when I say you will walk through this eclipse portal or this full moon or this solstice or whatever, and go from where you are to where is optimal for you next, because none of us live in the same reality. We happen to be doing this. We're crossing over. We're creating an eye. We're creating a door. We're creating a vortex. We're creating an opening where you and I and the other people here are deciding that this intersection in time and space is an important place for us to not only awaken our truth, but to realize that we're not doing it alone. And then we are. So you can see almost like I get the little rays and stuff in the sun, but because we know that this is almost the biggest thing is that part of this is blocked, but we don't see that. It tells you a lot about perception. How are you seeing yourself? How are you not seeing your blocks? Maybe you've been eclipsed and you don't think so, or you're not willing to look at it and you've got to go into the darkness to find it. That's just the friggin' way it is. So I don't know how much longer I can handle this because it's so intense. When's it going to end? It's a valid question. And I invite you, because it's something that a student shared today, is to express it if you're feeling it, because this is the voice of a victim. This is the voice that's behind you. How much longer is this going to happen? Because that voice is still seeing the old reality. Now, I'm not saying everything is here, you should see it, what's wrong with you? No, not at all. I'm saying you've just been puked out through some kind of a spiritual amniotic sac, and you might be just laying there in a pool of goo. I don't know. I'm talking energetically, okay? 3 this morning, I woke up, wasn't surprised, got up, did some magic, did some stuff, energy work, talk to the land, do everything I normally do. Then I'm tuning in, and I started going into another dark night of the soul. It wasn't really dramatic. It wasn't a lot of whatever. However, after the call yesterday, all of my physical symptoms got 50,000 times worse, like worse than anything. My glands in my throat swelled up like 5 times. The congestion, everything, it was crazy. I was just like, okay, well, that's interesting. And by the time I went to bed without anything but my normal herbs and colloidal silver and so on, they had gone back down to not perfect, but I'm on my healing path, going that direction. And so you have to realize that as emotion comes up, as we go through a portal like this, it's going to push everything to the surface. It's going to make everything, and things get congested and inflamed. Why? Because you're holding on, because you're trying to make it fit something, because you're looking back at the old you. Disconnect, turn around, look a new direction. So you see all the cute little spirit dudes that appear sometimes in these, and little angel beings and things. But I'm going to show you a series of pictures that went like this: click, 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 click. And this is what I do. I couldn't even see what I was doing. So I'm looking with one thing and I'm clicking here. And then I realized, oh, should try to click to show you what I see through that. And I can't see any of it because my eyes aren't that good. So I'm just hoping. The only time I can see is when I put, the obsidian right up to my own eye and I focus, and then I saw what we saw on there. So look at what happens. And this is what happens when you do the energy work, when you activate your light body, when you understand some of the greater mysteries. You don't have to know them all like me and just be obsessed with studying with every culture and shaman in the universe, okay? You do not have to do that. You're here to awaken what's within you, and the mentors, the paths, the mysteries that are meant for you will appear. So what I'm doing right now is being a gathering circle, I guess, of all different kinds of paths different traditions, different from shamans and goddess traditions to energy medicine to homeopathy doctors to radionics to traveling dimensions to talking to animals to, doing this, that, and the other thing. I bring that all in so I can create the space, and then whatever is optimal can come into the space. Then from there, you might pick something up and be like, oh my gosh, mists of Avalon, I've got to go into this and blah, right? What is igniting your soul? But don't think one thing is going to appear and you've got to grab it. And if you don't grab it right now and somebody's pushing you and you feel like buying a course and they're going, if you don't buy it today, the whole world's going to end. The world's not going to end, and you should never make a decision in fear. Just saying. If it feels right, master your emotions, get on your 2 levels, drop in. And now let's take in the portal as it opened, because I looked at this and first I saw one picture and went, oh, look, doors opened. And then I saw the next picture and went, oh, more doors opened. And then I saw the 4th picture, which was all of these light beings, which when I looked again this morning, literally to me look like giant angels, giant beings of light. So here's what's happening naked eye. Suddenly you see the light here and here. You can see more rays, more energies around it. We can see more of the orbs. I'm not looking through glass. The first thing I thought is, why is there glass reflecting? There's no glass here. Okay, this is not a reflection of glass. Now, as you look at this stripe right here, why? It isn't even going with the flow of the light from the sun. If it was, it would have gone out or up or in some way this way. It wouldn't be coming across. And to me, you can see through into a different dimension. It might look like an ocean or clouds or nebulas or space or something to you, but this is clearly a door opening. Now up here we see again in the corner, not as clear that you're looking through to another dimension, but why and where is that coming from? It wasn't there. That's the thing you have to, because your logical mind's got to, it's not true. So fuck that. Just tell them, go outside, have a cappuccino, I'll be there later. And then look at the difference in milliseconds. Why would it record 2 completely different things? Okay. So here to here. Doors opening, more doors opening. Now we see the dimensional door opening up and out, the rays coming out. Look at the rays coming out of the sun, expanding. There's clearly a whole lot more energy happening. And then this whole other almost pyramid shaped that connects down in here, while this one to me becomes even more tangible. Right? It seems even more real, like we could walk right through that door. This one moved over and there's something in between these two, but it's almost like maybe a pillar. And then over here looks like another pillar. So it looks like perhaps a sun or something. So there's a really interesting opening. Now, how this is very much tied to how you receive intuition. Okay, when you receive intuitive hits, you get whatever you're allowing through the least resistant point. So if all you do is feel something, that's all you're allowing. What you can do is hand over permission, start to trust yourself, give your higher self, your body elemental, and so on, everything I teach you, permission to let go, to release whatever's optimal at this time for me to align with my highest good, my soul signature frequency, my powers, my path. Now your mission is coming forward as the most important thing for you to remember. It's a little bit different than your purpose because your purpose changes. So you need to seek your purpose in this moment. Your purpose in this moment is to not get attached to the results because you're still moving through the portal. We've been feeling this portal for 6 weeks now or more, and we're going to keep feeling it until next year this time and probably beyond a little bit. So this is a beginning, not an ending, even though we've let things go. So this is a visual to show you that we are raising the frequency on the planet, that we can start to see the portals that are opening. And instead of just one little thing here or there, we were opening more doors. So thank you if you're a part of my community, because part of this is your work. And if you're a student or someone who comes to my retreats, deep, deep, deep respect and thank you. And then it turned into this. So at first I thought, what did I do? Drop the camera down? I thought it's looking at the pool below me. And what is this bright light right here? How could the sun be shining on the sidewalk? So to me, it looks like the sidewalk over there, the wall, and my pool. And suddenly, boom, I see, no, the corner of the roof of the house next door is still here. The trees are still here. You see the corner of the house, and it's all still here. Oh, that's my house. Okay. All right. So boom, boom, boom. The portal opened and kapoof. So this is just a tiny gift from our divine guides who opened the space with us, who walked with us and still are walking with us. Thank you. To what they did. And look at these beings appearing. They look to me like tall white beings bent over slightly, holding their hands in prayer pose in front of their hearts. They're creating a hallway or a long open portal or a wormhole or tunnel. They're surrounding everything. And you can still see the little blue dot, which is still light beings to me. I know people are seeing it more and more on their cameras, so it's not like, oh, you have to be special to get that. However, we never used to get it. And that is such a beautiful thing, because you can see the energy coming from the eclipse, from the sun, like little dots, like telegraphing out. And the blue dot now looks like a heart, the center. And I'm just seeing the heart right now while we're looking at it here. I can't zoom in on this platform. However, if you can zoom in on whatever you're watching, that's really interesting. I'll blow this up so we can see it. But for me, the blue, the turquoise blue in the center looks like a heart. It's very powerful. I'm feeling like we're going to leave it here and allow this to be the next step that we take in this portal journey. And I'm going to share a little bit more about this, and we'll do some more rebirthing. So we talked about the waves and the caves and the waters, and the water magic, water spirit is very important. So in the mastermind, we're learning a lot of these different traditions. We're going to be doing fire ceremony, shamanic journeying. We're doing right now deep release in the emotional body and learning how to master it. And master it doesn't mean that you tell it what to do and you make it behave and you lock it up. It means that you allow it while rising above it, while embodying both sides of you. So here's the main way we saw the eclipse, was through these little crescents, you see, are the shadows coming through my palm coconut trees and onto my sand and my pathways there. And you can see the leaves, but where you see all the little crescents is where the eclipse is happening. And then there means that they're all eyes, because if you could see the whole shape or outline of the black moon, the black side, the yin side, if you could see this side of you, you would see that you're now together and you can see with more than one perspective. After the eclipse, I went out and went for a walk and walked into the wind and walked with the wind at my back. And in our ceremony yesterday, we were told to just be like a model walking down that runway, feeling so fabulous about yourself, in your body, loving it, whatever you are. And you have layer after layer of these long, glamorous gowns, and you just slip out of it and walk, and slip out of the next one and you walk, and you slip out of the next one and you walk. And they showed us this at the retreat, that they like opened the door, the wall, and you can just walk out into the fresh air. We don't have to, I gotta do this and fix this and forgive that and do this system and do that system. No, you don't. And then I thought it was interesting because at first I decided I wanted to walk into the wind. That's what you have to do, because then that would blow everything off of me. And it was a very intense wind, and I've had a lot of ear problems, so it hurts my ears. And I was fighting into the wind. It was quite strong. And I thought, wait a minute, is this the old me that automatically thinks, okay, I'm going to go make it happen. I got to fight the current. I got to go against the brain. I can't let it help me. I'm going to make it. I'm going to do it. And then I just said, well, what is optimal in the moment? Now, you know me, that I always ask that anyway. However, in the moments of great change, like you're in right now, being in the moment is more important than ever. And then I thought, no, I want to walk with the wind at my back, because I'm walking out of the portal. I'm walking out of the past. I'm walking out of hiding or not trusting or not believing or fooling self into thinking you're doing something, but you're really just still stopping and repeating the same patterns, or playing the victim over and over, or thinking you're the good person by sacrificing and giving everything away and whatever it is. And those are just some of mine and some of my clients, and we all have a lot in common. And so as you walk out into this next realm, are you allowing the wind to be at your back? So I walked quite a ways, and I found the most amazing shell I have ever found. There were not a lot of shells out. I didn't even bring my bucket. I wasn't out looking for shells. I just wanted to ground myself into the ocean, into the crystals and the sand and Gaia, to breathe through the new sun into me, and get this download from nature, from this beauty that I live in, because it's my power, it's my empowering, it's my cleansing, it's my ally. And I don't know why. It's absolutely weird. I stopped. I bent over for no reason. There was no good shells there. And I see this shell just peeking. I don't even have it. It's downstairs, peeking out of the sand. And there's a picture in the email. If I don't have it here, I'll bring it the next time that we meet for our next rebirthing. And it's this big, gorgeous purple fan shell that's super mermaidy, that is very rare to find here. I find a lot of shells here, but not those. And the only ones I've ever found have been very small, that are whole, and you just don't see them. And it was so buried that I could have easily stepped on it, walked past it. Nobody was going to see it. So the meaning to me is that, look, exactly what you want is already here. You're walking on top of it. Look down, look within, bend over, look deeper, review Mercury retrograde. And I just went, no way, it's not going to be whole. I'll start pulling the sand back and it'll be half, it'll be cracked, it'll be broken. It's perfect. And it was such a delight. The big beacons of light for me in the last week, as we go through this intensity, has been getting my tickets to go to Stonehenge Inner Circle for the dawn at the equinox, and to get to go with a group of people who are there to celebrate it, who are allowed to celebrate it, that are allowed to dress up and drum and say, call the directions and do whatever their spiritual tradition is. Whereas where I live, you're not allowed to do pre-Hispanic ceremonies on pre-Hispanic land. Basically, the Maya are not allowed to go onto their own land, to their own pyramids, to their own temples of their own people, and do any of their ceremonies. And all the way back to 2012, when they were told they could, they planned a lot, put a lot of money into planning ceremonies at all of these beautiful sites. And then a few weeks before, the Pope said, don't let them go in. Now, why would somebody say that if they didn't understand the power of people going directly to source, people going back to connecting to Gaia, to Earth, to reactivating their traditions, to bringing their wisdom forward. Because anyone who controls via fear and tells you you're a piece of shit and you're sin and you're evil because you're a woman and everything that's been done, this is the time for us to say, and I've been setting boundaries in the last few weeks and maybe month or so of my life that I didn't really think I needed to set. And so instead, people started pushing those boundaries. And now all kinds of drama and misunderstanding and projection. And it's like, wow, when you change, people aren't going to like it. If you suddenly start speaking the truth or start saying, no, thank you very much, I really need to be alone right now, what will happen? I don't know. But the show that I did, Rebirthing, Resurrection, and Shedding on Saturday, has been so profound for so many people. I keep getting notices about it. My mastermind has all vowed and chosen to repeat it over and over. They're using it as a tool to look at themselves, ask the questions, what do I want? And why am I here? And what am I looking for? And then do this show and then go back and ask those questions again. So you're never done, and it isn't something to be upset about. It isn't over. It can be different right now. It can be different the minute you decide. It can be different the minute you decide, I might still be in pain. I might still not understand what's going to happen. I might still going to get my ass kicked, or this happen, or that uncertainty, whatever it just is what it is. So do this. This is my left hand, my receiving hand, my divine feminine hand. And I was reaching up and I wanted to cup the new sun. This is the post-eclipse sun in my hand and receive. So I invite you to do that. This is the sun represents the self. The sun holds the gold ray, which has every ray of creation within it, which is all the ascended masters who help to build form. You have this in your hand. You have the power to grow. You have everlasting light. This is gifted to you every day, every day, every day, and you aren't asked to sacrifice anything. You aren't asked to give anything up. You aren't asked to not be you. In fact, this is given to you with the hope that you will let it ignite the part of you to, like the Statue of Liberty, hold your flame high, represent freedom, stand tall, be seen, but know that you are divine, that you aren't trying to change anything. You're simply shining your light. Hold this in your hand. Continue to walk through this shedding, this rebirth. We walk together. Our guides are still here. This has been a divine journey, and we are only now just becoming aware that we are passing through. Because there is nothing here yet for you to know. Here's my shell. Look at her. She beautiful. So the mermaid energies are here. If you're interested in coming and doing some magic with me at my house on the midsummer solstice, let me know. Isn't she amazing? Super, super excited. Okay, so we will dive into the caves and we will do some rebirthing, but I'm going to leave us here. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We ask all of these energies that are guiding us and protecting us and continuing to walk with us through this important moment. We surrender to receive, trusting ourselves to know that what is optimal in each moment is already here, to receive it and accept it, to decide and choose every moment and every moment and every moment and every moment until the door appears, in every moment and in every moment and in every moment until the portal opens. In every moment, in every moment, in every moment, there is guidance, there is love, there is support. I receive, I accept, and I keep getting up. I keep climbing. I keep moving. I am here, ready and willing, open and receptive to see the portals and to move through them. I understand that more opportunities are going to begin to flood into my life. This is the essence of the dragon. I am ready to create my inner balance and center. I am ready to be that which I came here to be, so that I am not bowled over. I am not led astray. I am making decisions from my own core crystal center, and with the support of the divine Gaia, my higher self, my I am presence, and my body elementals. All the lives in my soul, all the wisdom that I carry, all the codes that I have. I welcome you, and I gratefully and graciously release that which has been offered up. It is safe for me to walk out of this darkness. It is safe for me to see myself. It is safe for me to know myself. I do not need to put myself into danger. I do not need to tell anyone who I am or what I am becoming. I am here to be me, to listen within. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This circle, this path, and this community, we've held hands again and we continue to walk forward. Namaste. I appreciate you all so much. Hi, Lucille. Hi, Kim. Hi, Josie. I'm so glad that you were all here with me and that you can hear me and you could hear me. Namaste. And hi, honey. I keep thinking about you. What an honor. What an honor. Thank you. I love all of you. I had asked Donna to set up another show, and I don't think she got to it yet, so watch for the email. And please let me know if you want to come in to work with me in the Intuition Summer Camp, in any of the retreats, in the Sacred Goddess training, Dragon Spirit Guide communication, and any of the mastermind or courses that will help you as you become. We had the Lemurians here. This is a Lemurian seed crystal. It's a communicator. And the rose quartz pyramid with the flower of life. Okay. All right. So someone here, or many people, just asked to see our beautiful flower of life. So in my mystery school, in my reality, this is what we envision. You can see it's a hologram. Put yourself inside of it. It is the flower of life that contains within it every single sacred geometrical shape to create all life and all form and to uncreate it. It represents your light body and everything in it. It represents any of the activations you do with me around us to take us between the worlds. Thank you, Alton, for the hologram of love. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is.